everyone, this is Vince from Pi Network, and you're watching Breaking Bitcoin.
Hello, DGens. In the world of cryptocurrency and investing, it's no secret that one of the greatest edges you can have in the market
Hey guys, I'm Erez with Blocks, and you're watching Breaking Bitcoin.
Is the market going to collapse, or is this the buying opportunity of a lifetime? We're going to cover all those questions and more in today's episode. Some quick premium member updates. As you guys know, over the last week, we have implemented one of our new automated strategies into TradingView and obviously into the Discord. And I was very pleased to see today when I woke up how many trades that
My name's Dre. My name's Daniel. Here with King Roll Industries. I'm watching the Sarpin Network. And you're watching Breaking Bitcoin.
I think a lot of people, current market participants, may or may not have been around back then and may not remember what it was like or what the argument was. And now, today, we have Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash SV, and we have Craig Wright running around, and we have the recent law debate, and then more recently, like just a few days ago, obviously, the big thing.
Hi everyone, my name is Simon Yu. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Storm, and you're watching Breaking Bitcoin.
For example, in your back testing, you might discover a killer strategy that works great on the
Hi, this is Brian Kerr from Kava Labs. You are watching Breaking Bitcoin.
due to fear over massive market selling due to fears of the coronavirus outbreak.
100-second moving average, the MACD, the RSI, the Bollinger Band, the Surge Cancan, everything they could ever imagine.
The selling pressure was just too much for Bitcoin last night as price began tanking almost immediately following the daily close.
You consider yourself an engineer who privately trades, not a private trader who has an engineering background.
That's correct.
The Australian dollar, the absolute superstar of the Forex market this week and last week, continues to climb today, really highlighting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Breaking Bitcoin live stream. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. Today is February 13th. It is a nice frosty Thursday here, safe in the cracking cryptocurrency bunker, sheltered far away from the disastrous climate change that is encroaching upon us on the east and west coast. Seems to be isolated to the coasts. I'll tell you what, it's nice and frosty here in the Midwest. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great show for you guys today. In today's episode, we are, of course, going to be talking talking about the infamous Belgian Malinois of CZs that is sparking a meme coin frenzy today in the markets. We're going to be talking about JP Morgan's suggestion that Tether might need to sell off some of its Bitcoin to comply with the new Genius Act, the new stablecoin regulation in the United States. We're also going to be touching on the 2.7 trillion. That is not a misspeak. That is trillion with a T dollars in misdirected Medicare payments that the Doge has found out of the United States, as well as doing a full in-depth dive of the crypto markets. Where are we at? There are some assets that are beginning to fire some signals on my bigger, longer term reversal system. So we're going to discuss those today. As I've been saying over the last few days, I do think that the broad narrative is something akin to the winter doldrums, where we are going to kind of range with an overall down list lazily to the right and down over the next 3 to 5 months, unless we get a strong catalyst in the form of monetary policy. And that catalyst could be right around the corner, but I doubt it. We don't have FOMC until March. We don't have FOMC until May. And so with the big battle that's going on, obviously Trump wants a weaker dollar, Fed wants a stronger dollar. We're going to discuss all of that and more in today's episode. But a few quick programming notes. We of course do the show every weekday from noon to 2 Central Standard Time. Mark your calendars. If the world is spinning, we're going to be here. That's 1 to 3 on the Eastern Seaboard and 10 to noon on the West Coast. If you want to support what we're doing, our mission here is to not only tell you the latest scuttlebutt of cryptocurrency, not only to give you the latest in our analysis, but also to teach you how to think more strategically, how to embrace systems trading processes in your own trading so that you can turn your hobby, your degenerate side activity of trading, into a more profitable long-term business or occupation. That is exactly what we do with our Crypto Trading Academy. We've been doing it for almost 8 years now, teaching people how to take whatever they're doing in the markets, this random walk all over the place, this stochastic process, and learn how to put rules behind their trading, how to put risk management behind their trading, and actually turn this into a long-term sustainable occupation. If you want to support that with our live stream, they do it every day for free. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you do not miss our live streams or our uploads. We, of course, are going to be publishing our crypto market update clips later on in the afternoon. And then anything we discuss that seems to be of good viral interest, obviously later on as a crypto market wisdom clip. That like button is completely free. Please punch it. It helps out more than you could possibly imagine. And share this video to your friends, your family, even people you don't like that very much. It helps them out and it helps us out. Thank you guys so very much. Shout out to early chatters, Chase Sommer. Honestly, guys, what could we possibly expect? Market pulling back today. We have a Christmas tree day. We've got Cake up 8%, Ultima up 6%, JTO up 4%, Caspa up 7%, Litecoin up a little bit, but just about everything else is down overall in the top 100. So pretty Christmas tree day. A few isolated things continuing on in their pump. Most things pulling back today. Bitcoin obviously pulling back today, trading now below yesterday's open. What did we really expect? Was this really the bottom, where the markets really bottomed out? It's just every time we think the markets have been bottomed out, it's just been a big disappointment. And so today, of course, is no different. We're going to be covering all that and more because there are some things that are beginning to look strategic. There are some tactical trades that we could take out there. But again, overall, what is the summer that we're, or excuse me, what is the climate that we're in? What is the market regime right now? Well, the market regime is very unforgiving. Good volatility for mean reversion right now, not really good for swing trades to the upside. The market's been very good for swing trades to the downside over the last 2 weeks, but over the last week or so, particularly with Bitcoin's been absolutely flat. Altcoins have been bleeding. And so that is where the alpha has been. So adjust your strategies accordingly. As I've said there, in yesterday's, if you missed yesterday's crypto market wisdom clip, I talk about, and honestly, Monday's crypto market wisdom clip, where I talked about, the easiest way to print money in a bull market is having a higher time frame and a lower time frame trend following strategy. Those strategies just absolutely print money. They don't even need to be that sophisticated. It doesn't matter if you use super trend, MACD, moving average crossover, RSI going over 50, any momentum oscillator going over 0. It doesn't really really matter. It's relatively easy. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. But when those strategies stop printing money consistently, you know that something has shifted. You know that something has changed. And it is a clear sign that you need to adjust what you're doing, lest you be completely wiped out in the chop. And if you don't have a good chop strategy, it's just fine to sit on your hands. Let me tell you, one of the most difficult things that you're going to have to accept. You've all been here, right? Especially for you guys out there who aren't trading full time, who this is a side hobby for you. You likely have a full-time job. And if you're really dedicating the time to learn how to trade, let's imagine that you have just worked a full 6 or 8 hour shift, maybe longer. You're coming home and now you're dedicating 2 to 4 hours of sitting in front of the charts looking for a trade. And on the days where there's no trade, man, you feel like you haven't done any work. You sat here, you're trying to grind it out, you're looking for the signal, maybe you've done your back testing and you have a system, you're waiting for a signal, but nothing comes. You don't get a signal throughout a full 2 to 4 hour trading session. And let me tell you, one of the biggest mistakes that you can make following that is to, be on your centralized exchange or be on your decentralized exchange, on your high caps, on your watch list, looking for a signal, none come. And then what do? Well, you decide to go punt, some money on some random degenerate altcoin because you think it's going to pump, and you lose $1,000. And this is a story that I know so many of you can sympathize with because it is your story. Hell, it's been my story many, many times. And so this idea that, okay, trading is a business, trading is now my second job. I want to make profit with my second job. But if I don't take a trade, I feel like I haven't done anything. And nothing could be farther from the truth. The reality is that most of your time trading is going to be sitting on your hands. Trade less, strategize more, plan more. As you guys saw with the multiple situations in which I've made money on stream. Most of it is not that exciting. It's sitting there watching the markets, waiting patiently for a signal. And when we finally do get that signal that we have some statistics on, unless we're testing out a new strategy, that we have some statistics on, then we go in. But most of it's waiting. And that can be the hardest thing for a trader. And so developing a system, developing clear triggers, developing clear signals, setting alerts for those can be a lifesaver, because then you can just simply be less married to the charts. That's exactly how we teach in our process. But this is systems trading, right? Unless your dream is to run some kind of high frequency trading bot, which, good luck. Most of your time is going to be spent sitting on your hands, particularly in markets like this, where there's a lot of chop, a lot of indecision, a lot of fundamental indecision. These are times when you can make tactical investments, buy when there's blood in the streets. But from the perspective of trading, it's generally an unsuccessful or losing battle. You want to trade when the market dynamic is in your favor, when the trend is in your favor, and when everything seems very, very clear. You have to develop that confidence to act. And that confidence to act is going to come when everything aligns for a perfect trade or for a good trade setup that you have determined previously with your back testing and your previous trading. It's not going to be from forcing a trade. And most of the trades that I'm seeing from most of the individuals in the community, most of the individuals online from my timeline, they're forced trades, man. People are forcing trades and people are trying to chase the latest narrative. And sometimes that's a good strategy, but it's not long-term reproducible. So guys, it's completely fine if you're not making a lot of money right now. The market is brutal right now, and the market won't always be this way, especially if you're long biased. If you're long biased and you just are terrified of pressing the red button, and you haven't been pressing the red button at any point in time over the last 2 to 4 weeks, you're probably not making that much money. If you're long biased over the last 2 to 4 weeks, you're probably not making that much money. And that's okay. So it's okay to not force the trades, and it's okay to sit on your hands. It's okay to sit on your hands for weeks or months. You don't need to do anything. If you are sitting on, now let me make a qualification here. If you're sitting on your hands because you don't know what to do, that's a little different. If you don't have a system, if you haven't done the work of making the system, this is the perfect time to do that, right? Why sit in front of the charts for 4 hours to find a signal that's not coming around because the market regime is not in your favor right now? Why don't you dedicate that time to back testing? Why don't you dedicate that time to sitting down and fleshing out a nuanced strategy? Use that time now when the markets are boring and brutal, so that when the markets swing back into your favor, which could come tomorrow, the next week, the next month, 6 months down the line, doesn't know, who knows, but they will. And when they do, you will be prepared and ready to profit. All right. Okay. think that's our crypto market wisdom clip for the day. With that out of the way, shout outs to my new early chatters. We got Dan, we got Cornish Crypto UK, we got Mikado, we got Yes to Crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the end of today's live stream where we will be giving away for the last time 1 billion Jesus tokens. We have a lot of new entries come in last night. It's going to take me a little bit towards the end because I had to restart Marbles. We're going to have to put all the names in there and I'm going to have to process all the new entries, but it's fine. We'll do it together. I'm here for you. Following this will be our last day of giveaway for this week. Okay. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Tomorrow, we're going to have to play tomorrow's stream a little bit by ear. So I might be a little early. I will likely not be a little late, but I might be a little early because I've got a lot going on tomorrow. I've got several school parties I have to go to. I've got to go pick up my boy who lives a little bit away. And then we've got a 2-hour drive to a water resort where we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, for tomorrow. But today will mark the last giveaway day for the Jesus tokens. We are out. Huge shout out to the Jesus community. Hope you guys go out there, check out the community. Good people, good stuff, good times. And starting next week, we are going to continue this habit of weekly giveaways. So what we're going to do is every single day, we are going to randomly pick active chatters in the live stream, and your names are going to go in the bucket. All right. And at the end of the week, we are going to do our marble race giveaway where we will be giving away either cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, kind of dealer's choice, or we are going to be giving away memberships to our Crypto Trading Academy. And we are going to be rolling out a lot of new products in the Crypto Trading Academy over the next 3 to 6 months, free courses. And then we are working right now. We've done a lot of development work on our indicators, both public and private, and we're going to be offering those on a kind of a la carte basis. So if you guys just want access to our trading indicators, if you just want access to our automated strategies, and you can view all the back testing, you can view all the results, they're highly customizable. You guys will be able to just subscribe for that. We're thinking something on the order of anywhere from like $50 to $80 per month for the indicator and automated strategy package. We got to do some discussions with finance and everything. I'm not really in charge of all that. I'm just the face. But anyways, so that will all be coming down the pipeline. Okay. I think that's everything. Let's get to today's scuttlebutt. All right. Early sounds good. Max says, same story, Justin. I had to stick notes around my wall. Don't trade just to be in a position. Absolutely, man. I cannot tell you. I've basically removed all of the sticky notes, but as I speak about this in Pathways to Profit, I have a trading schedule, right? So I have a process for how I day trade in the mornings, and I look for intraday positions. And honestly, nowadays, most of that is just alerts. But when I do sit down to just day trade, I have a process. And when I do my daily time frame trading, I have a process, and I obviously go into it depth, but I'll give you guys the cliff notes. I sit down, I start off with a prayer, a positive affirmation, that I will follow my process, that I will not try to force a trade, that I will not commit a cardinal sin of trading. Because it's very important as a trader, and honestly, as a man, right, to do what you do with confidence. All right, you want to narrow your focus of things that you can do and then do those things very well. You do not want to be doing a ton of different things haphazardly and lacklusterly. It's not attractive. It's not a good look, and you won't achieve good success. The most successful people, it doesn't really matter what industry you want to pick, what type of success you want to talk about. Those individuals are really good at niching down, figuring out what they're going to be the master of, and becoming the master of that one thing. And that's what you need to do. You can't be really good at a ton of things. You really can't. Right? You're not going to be Elon Musk, right? And if you really want to drill down, Elon Musk is really, really good at just a couple of different things, but he's super good at those couple different things. And what Elon Musk is really, really good at is delegation, which is a great important task. You need to be a prime delegator if you're going to be super successful in something like a sprawling business organization. A lot of fingers and a lot of pies, because you only have 10 fingers, right? You only have 10 fingers. You can only have so many fingers and so many pies, but you can delegate to other people who have 10 fingers, who can delegate to other people who have 10 fingers. Anyways, so positive affirmation. I do my daily scan. positive affirmation. Then I review currently open trades, see if I need to make any changes. Daily scan, take the trades that I get the signals for. And that is combined with a process of looking at my open risk, because I only have X amount of risk on at a time. And I look and see, okay, based on the signals that I have, sometimes there's a lot of signals, sometimes there's not a lot. If it's on a day where I have a lot of signals, obviously I have to rank order those based on the strength of the signal and also the market capitalization of that coin and the success rate of the strategy on that particular coin. So for example, if on this individual coin, I know that I have a 75% hit rate and I get a signal for another coin that has a 73% hit rate, I'm obviously going to take the 75% hit rate. Same if I have a signal that's 67% hit rate, and then I get one that's 58% hit rate, obviously I'm taking the higher hit rate position every single time because that's positive EV. And then I take my trades. I don't have more than 10% risk on at any given time, 10% long, 10% short, so 20% total risk. And that's it. And then I end with a prayer and I walk away, and then I go hang out with my kids. Woo-wee! Journal your trades, write sell price when you buy. Profit Bear, you are, I'll tell you what, man, you are a master of the Jesus token, brother. And being a good father. And, you know, rain, sleet, or shine, delivering that mail, brother. So don't be down on yourself. Every single day that you're breathing is a day that you can get a little bit better. None of this stuff is overnight, man. None of this like mail success BS is going to happen overnight. Just good orderly direction, pick a target, work toward that target. And honestly, a lot of the work is just shedding yourself of things that are unnecessary, saying no. And that's really hard for a lot of people to do because we've been kind of conditioned to be agreeable in our society. And anyways, so today's big first scuttlebutt: Broccoli's Frenzy, CZ's dog sparks crypto meme coin craze. So we'll just go to CZ's initial post. And I'm not going to read all of this, right? But he's talking about how about a year and a half ago, his friend owned a zoo in Dubai, and he asked what dog breed is adapted to Dubai, and he's talking, and then his doorbell rang, and this young Belgian Malinois showed up. By the way, I have, not me, but my ex had a Belgian Malinois, and the Belgian Malinois was one of the coolest dogs I've ever seen. And I'm sure if you have not gone to YouTube and like watched the videos of the Belgian Malinois training, now listen, guys, I consider myself a strong man, but you know, I've got my weak points. All right. I cry during the notebook. I'm just going to be very upfront about that. All right. Water for elements, water for elephants gets me every time. Something about that. The end of Terminator 2, when Arnold self-terminates and lowers himself into the magma pit, I tear up. Okay. Some poignant, you know, strong emotional things will get me to tear up. All right. And watching the clips on YouTube where they have the Belgian Malinois training for like military tactical training, and then they've got like the David Draymond Disturbed Sound of Silence playing over it, but not just the original Sound of Silence, like the kind of techno beat one, you know, and they're showing the dog training. Something about that gets me really juiced up, right, in an emotional way. Seeing this beautiful, strong bond between, you know, tactical operator and tactical dog, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but it gets me going. I'm gone, dude. I'm not talking like streaming tears. Guys, not like that, but I'm just like, it's a beautiful relationship. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So he names this dog Broccoli. I wanted a name that starts with B and has some green in it, so I named him Broccoli. It also has a blocky sound, as in blocky chain. Can't get away from crypto. All right. Blah, blah, blah. And so anyways, he just has this heartfelt... Whoa, what's going on? He just has this heartfelt tale of his bond with his dog Broccoli. And he posts some pictures. A beautiful dog. Belgian Malinois are beautiful animals. So here's him at 18 months. Okay. CZ looks like he's also 18 months old here in this picture. And this is his teeth at 18 months old. And then here is Broccoli today. Beautiful looking dog. Belgian Malinois are fantastic animals. Alex, yeah, I see you, man. Those videos get me every time, dude. Yeah. There's not, and I'll be honest, guys, listen. every once in a while, maybe like once a year, it depends on what kind of guy you are, all right? And maybe I'm a pussy for saying this, but you know, there's, you know, a good, and honestly, like once a year seems like a little excessive to me, but every once in a while, you know, a good cry can feel pretty good. All right. You know, we all are dealing with a lot. We all got a lot of stuff on our plates. Just make sure nobody can see you. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see that. You know, probably a little bit of whiskey helps. You know, put the earbuds in. You know what I mean? Put some of that music on and just go there. You know what I mean? It'd probably help you guys out. You know, if you're dealing with a lot, if you're holding a lot in your chest, man, good cry. You know, feels pretty good. All right. It's been a while since I've had a good cry though. So. All right, maybe I'll schedule a live stream. Get the cry out. All right. Dan, good to see you, my friend from Belgium, Saga Alpha Club. Max asks, how do I think about projects lately? I don't feel like most of the projects are heading for sustainability anymore. Listen, it's been a very PvP market, right? We've got a lot of different phenomena happening. One, you have this concept or this phenomenon known as altcoin dispersion, where the liquidity is open coin stats. Get a cry. He said it. Yeah, man, I don't want to be looking at coins. It's fine. It's fine, right? Again, I talked about this. If you accept, this is Monday's video. You have to accept that whenever you look at your portfolio, haircut it by 15 to 20%, right? And that's being generous. That's if you act judiciously, right? And not, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't sell here. Maybe I should double up. No, when you sell, the first clear sign that we might be topped out. 10 to 15. Yes, I do have a dog, AJ. I have a Millie. Most people have seen her. It'll take her a while. She's lazy as hell. The portfolio by Scorsese. What's up? Come here. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? Come on. Get up here. Oh. Say hi. Oh, the camera's in the way. What a good husky. What a good husky. Sorry to disturb you. Yeah, it's my husky. All right. Get ready for a pump in the next hour, says Rick G. Gosh, I hope so. All right. All right, so there are already more than 19. So in the wake of this emotional post about CZ's broccoli dog, there are now, probably bigger now since this was tweeted out 2 hours ago, but there are already more than 19,263 tokens named Broccoli on BNB. Liquidity split between almost 20,000 tokens doesn't help us as a collective. All right. CZ refuses to drop a contract address, clarifies he's just sharing a photo of his dog Broccoli, not launching a meme coin. And then we've got, obviously, like, you know, a lot of just everything, right? Sorry, AJ or Max. I was talking about altcoin dispersion. The fact that we've seen it's very PvP, man, for low cap projects. On one hand, I don't want to be too bearish because, you know, when it comes to like low cap investing, as I said in yesterday's video, there's kind of two ways to make good money in crypto. Okay, two ways. The number one way that most of you are probably familiar with is, you know, about every 2 years or so, when the market seems to have crashed and it seems like the sky is falling out of the, you know, like like there is no such thing as a bottom, right? Usually a catalyst, right? Like collapse of FTX, COVID-19, whatever. You just buy, right? Spot buy, no leverage, spot buy, and then you just hold for 6 to 12 months, okay? And you try to sell as near to the top as you can. That's the way, right? Extract value from the market. Understand that no matter how much you might believe that the super cycle is here, there will always be cycles, and just try to get as much as you can out. And so that's the number one way to make money in crypto. All right. And the second way is having some kind of strategy. Again, having a good trend following strategy, higher time frame and lower time frame in a bull market is one of the best ways to make money. And then being able to navigate chop, mean reversion strategies when we're in a bear or chopping is good as well. But the difficulties in both of those, there's lots. One, there's a lot of emotional difficulties that come with number one, because you get extremely greedy and stupid near the top of the market cycle. And when you have a large P&L, you just start to make irrational and dumb decisions. Doesn't matter how smart you are. It only takes time and discipline and rules that you actually follow to get over that. And then number two, obviously cardinal sins of trading, over leveraging, right? Not actually modifying or adjusting your strategy or trying to force a trade at every single point in time. It is technically a bit of a German dog. So my dog, I'm not trying to be pretentious here, but she is a purebred Siberian Husky, about 86% purebred Siberian Husky. And then she's about 14% to 17%. I have the papers upstairs. Purebred German Shepherd dog. So, oh, if you're talking about the Belgian Malinois, they're Belgian, dude. Like, it's in the name. All right, bro. So anyways, all that to say, be careful out there with meme coins, right? You know, broccoli's come and go, meme coins come and go. Number two, JP Morgan has suggested that Tether might need to sell a portion of its Bitcoin holdings to comply with proposed US stablecoin regulations. So from Cointelegraph, breaking, JP Morgan says Tether may need to sell BTC to comply with proposed US stablecoin rules. Let's see here. For reference, Tether is one of the world's largest BTC buyers, holding nearly 85,000 BTC. If they sell and halt purchases, Bitcoin will easily crash far below 10K. Shut the fuck up, dude. Jacob King says, Tether is the glue holding up the entire crypto market. It has essentially found a loophole to print unlimited, unbacked tokens out of thin air, avoid transparency audits, and evade prosecution. However, all of this is coming to an end in 2025. Harsh new regulations are on the way, forcing Tether to disclose its US Treasury holdings. JP Morgan and other major banks predict that to comply, Tether would need to sell off its Bitcoin reserves. That leaves them with two choices: sell everything and collapse the Ponzi, or refuse and get busted and banned by authorities. Either way, the scheme unravels. Now, listen. I just finished reading this. The truth is, Tether has been lying to everyone for years. It doesn't even have 1% of its holdings backed. It printed money out of thin air, injected it into BTC, drove up prices, induced FOMO, and sent the market soaring, all while insiders scalped, sold behind the scenes, and got rich. There is no outcome in which BTC survives. Its current price of around $100,000 is a temporary blip, sustained purely by fraud and FOMO. When reality sets in, prices will plummet, even back to 4-digit levels. Bookmark this. All the maxis say not financial advice after telling you to throw your life savings in at the peak, but I'll take the contrarian approach. This is financial advice. Sell and take profits. The risk is way too high. Okay. I'm not going to sit here. I've done this too many times. I've had this Tether argument too many times. But for those of you who are relatively new and have not been following me for years, I will just say that that's a lot of fucking hot air. All right. Just point blank. It's very easy. It's always super sexy to come out and be negative. It's very socialist, right? I just watched Animal Farm last night, so I might be a little like juiced up against socialism right now. But it's very like socialist. It's this very like us versus them mentality. It's this idea that big businesses and big corporations are always somehow scheming or evil or bad. And not to say that there's not evil or scheming or bad businesses or bad operators within cryptocurrency. Like, of course there are. But again, Tether has been around for a long time. And I think that is a pretty wild claim to say that they have less than 1% of their holdings backed by US Treasuries. We'll see. I am all for them being audited and the books being thrown wide open. We know there is a strong correlation behind Tether printing or minting USDT and Bitcoin's price going up, right? It's very, very easy to suggest that Tether has been inflating this Ponzi, but I think that misses a real strong key point, that a lot of regular money has poured into BTC. Now, whether or not the amount of money that is the amount of actual real money that is poured into the market is 80% relative to the 20% of USDT or the 10%, we just literally have no idea. And so it's very easy to come out and say that, oh, of course, this evil Tether, like bad business, all this. Tether has done something pretty cool for the market. I don't know if you guys see, I've been trading crypto for a long time, and it used to be back in the day, there was no such thing as stable coining up. You had to sell into cash. And that brought about, it's just very different selling into USD, especially if you're trying to remain somewhat anonymous. Selling into USD on a centralized exchange is very different from going into USDT on a decentralized exchange. Sure. Does it open up areas of fraud and abuse? Of course it does. But did it inject a ton of liquidity for the market to soften blows? If you guys think that these wild swings in cryptocurrency are bad now, you should have seen what they were like prior to the introduction of stablecoins. No, guys, pause. My dog is not a mutt. All right. I will find you. I have a very specific set of skills. I will find you and I will punish you for that statement. She is a designer dog called a Gerberian Shepsky, or also commonly known as a Husky X. All right. Or a Husky Shepherd. All right. It's a real thing. Okay. I got the papers. It is a registered breed. Thank you very much. Taking all your wrenches right now. All of them. All your wrenches. All right. USDT got a $12 million slap on the wrist. They're in bed with the government. They ain't going nowhere. Alex says it's not even about socialism. It's just that markets are simply a PvP game and not something that work toward the common good. I would tend to agree with you. Cue the old man yelling at the clouds. Yes. See? B-Flow? Watch it, man. I know where you live. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else on here? So obviously we got some FUD coming into the markets. We got some shilling of XRP. Now, I will say this. I have been hearing some rumors. All right. I don't want to lead you guys astray. I have been hearing some rumors that, and these are obviously from the XRP army, but I have been hearing some rumors that we're going to get an announcement regarding XRP. But again, I don't know how much I believe this, but I'll just share the rumor with you. I've been hearing that we're going to get an announcement from Trump, from the government, regarding XRP. And this idea that, yeah, the RLUSD, the kind of what this guy is just saying, the United States regulated stablecoin RLUSD is going to take over. And that basically XRP is a good buy right now. So that's right. Sorry, B-Flow, you can no longer identify yourself as Husky. That's against the law, sir. All right. Finally, I know you guys have probably heard about this, but in case you didn't, allow me to yell into the camera for you on your behalf. So, we are now hearing that $2.7 trillion has been mismanaged and misdirected, improper payments in Medicare and Medicaid since 2003. These lead to double payments to people with the same social security number, payments to individuals living overseas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. 2.7 trillion found by Doge and improper payments in Medicare and Medicaid to people overseas, not even here in the States. Here is Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, saying the exact same thing. Medicare isn't going broke. The money was stolen. That's 8% of our national debt. And by the way, I wanted to point out something. If you guys missed it, if you guys didn't see the presidential address where Elon Musk was in the office with his son X, that was a pretty cool one, because Musk laid out something that I think not a lot of people have talked about, where he's basically saying, listen, if we can find, $2 to $3 trillion in waste, fraud, and abuse and cut the fat, then you're talking about reducing the deficit and there is no inflation for 2026. This is a pretty bold claim, but it also works out. The math works out. Elon spoke at the World Government Summit yesterday after the Oval Office with Trump chat on Doge. I did not see that one. I do not see that one. I will say that, guys, obviously, depending on, I don't want to necessarily offend too many people on this, but I don't know, how do I describe this? It used to be every day waking up, the most exciting thing that I was going to hear this day was like something about my personal life or something in the markets. Every single day I'm waking up and it's like the world is being like my country is being fundamentally like reshuffled. Ah! Yeah, I mean, that's a lot right there, which is good. So we shall see. We shall see. The thing is, here's something people don't understand. There's never been a president with a tech guy. It's never happened, right? Regardless of, and we've kind of talked about this, right? Like deep state, all that kind of stuff, which it doesn't really matter how you think about it. If you've ever, you don't have to have any degree. You don't have to have any experience with politics to understand a fundamental truth of life. Okay. One, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. We all know that, right? Blah, blah, blah. If you've ever worked anywhere, literally anywhere, you know that there is kind of somewhat of an inner circle, boys club, girls club, right? The old guard, the insiders, right? It's true everywhere, literally everywhere. It's true at your local Walmart. All right. There is a small group of people who call the shots, right? Who kind of know everything, right? Whether that's official or unofficial. There's within your local community, there are people who call the shots, either officially or unofficially, right? People who know everything. It's just, this is the way the world works. Why? Because we're social animals. So we connect socially. If I have a lot of power, I want to surround myself with people that I know are loyal to me and that I can trust. And I am then going to infuse those individuals with somewhat of my authority and power. All right. Money obviously equals a lot of power, but it's not the only thing that can equal power. All right. Money is not absolutely everything. It's important, but it's not absolutely everything. All right. So it's just true. So regardless of, where you sit on the, oh my God, the deep state, this is bad. Oh, this is evil. Oh, funds. It doesn't really matter. Right. It doesn't take a genius to realize that there is some entrenched power. Okay. And that is very dangerous when we're talking about transparent accountability. And it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on, to simply point out that the level of transparency and accountability from our federal government and even most of our state governments to the average tax-paying American citizen is significantly deficient. And in the modern world of being hyper-connected, of having everything on the internet, of having access to everything, of being able to quickly scan data and information, of being able to rapidly process data with artificial intelligence, it's unacceptable, and we deserve better. And so, and lots of presidents, lots of people have wanted to change this, but they've kind of been physically barred from it, right? Like they just can't really get into the systems. Elon Musk went in there like a gangster kicking down a door, and he's like, nope, root access. Let's see. Oh, what is all this? Root access, right? With his team of 19-year-old autists. It's fantastic. It's never happened before. We've got information about JFK's assassination, the fact that there was a second shooter. That's coming out within the next couple of weeks. We're getting the declassified information on 9/11, which, I mean, guys, that was kind of my first foray into anything different, and I talk about this in Pathways to Profit. This is how I came into trading. And I talk about how during the financial crisis, that's when I started trading during the financial crisis initially. And obviously crypto wasn't around at that. I didn't get into crypto until 2016, a decade later, but 9/11 was kind of and I was still a kid at the time, so it wasn't really until the financial crisis. Well, I was young at the time, I wasn't a kid, but it wasn't until the financial crisis that I then started looking at 9/11. So that was my first big whoa, hey, all this doesn't add up. I remember there was a movie that I really liked when I was younger called Zeitgeist. now I disagree with most of the tenets of that movie because I don't agree with its first part, obviously, as a Christian, and I don't agree with, because it's very much just like whitewashed, Bart Ehrman like nonsense, like Jesus mythicism, right, which is debunked as far as I'm aware. And then the second part about 9/11 was really, really good. And then the third part about central banking was really good. So, avoid the first part. But then Zeitgeist 2 just goes like into full bore, like, hey, socialism good. And I'm like, I'm not with you, man. But that was a really transformative like moment in my life when I kind of went from like, oh, hey, free stuff for everybody, to hold on a second, wait, I don't think we need to think for ourselves a little bit more around here. And being a trader kind of conditions you and rewards that as well, to be more hypercritical, to not follow the herd, to be a bit of a contrarian, because you start to realize like, hey, if I do what everybody else is doing, I'm gonna get the same results as everybody else, right? And that works really, really good for like, buying leaps on the SPY, and that works really good for like long-term investing, like into the the VVV, which is basically the IVV, excuse me, which is what I do. But yeah. With regards to the Pentagon passing an audit, if you haven't seen the clip, I don't know who the lady is, but if you haven't seen the clip of it's Jon Stewart, right, talking to let me see if I can find the clip. It's fascinating. Yeah, here it is. This is here. Let's get to this. And then so that you guys can hear it. This is Jon Stewart with the Deputy Secretary of Defense over the Pentagon's repeated failure to pass an audit.
And you can't tell me what happened to it. That to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument to make sure that an $850 billion budget to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went, like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you.
Okay, sorry. There is another part of that clip that's really, really good where it's a little bit after this, and because she keeps being super tone deaf, right? She's like, no, listen, there's a difference between when we can't pass an audit, it just means we don't know where everything is or what it was spent on. Everybody's responsible for that. No, I don't know about you, but I've got a good budget. I use this app called YNAB. You need a budget. I highly recommend it. Not sponsored, willing to take a sponsorship. I use this app every single day. It's helped change my life over the last couple of years and really helped rein in my spending. But I know where every single dollar I have, not ever, but certainly over the last year since I've been using YNAB, I know where every single dollar goes. I've accounted for everything. Everything's planned out. My retirement plan, my investment plan, my investments in Bitcoin, my trading. I can tell you where every single dollar has ever gone. That's just a normal, responsible human thing to do. And it's fine if there's like 10 to 20% like wiggle room for most individuals, right? I get that. Most individuals aren't super good at budgeting. But when we're talking about the Pentagon, and you can't tell me where the dollars are going. So basically, like later on in this clip, he essentially goes like, he's like, I'm just shocked. And he's being very polite about all this. He's like, but he's being very, forceful, which is a great way to debate. You should take notes. You don't want to be out there, especially if you're debating with somebody or like quote unquote arguing with somebody. The first person who loses their cool in an argument loses the argument. Like it was considered by the crowd to lose the argument. So you always got to be aware that, especially if people are watching you or if you're trying to change other people's minds, especially if you're doing this like recorded, if you want to go be a debater or whatever. You want to be polite, but you need to be forceful, right? And continue to push your issue and hold people's feet to the fire when they try to mislead or evade or slip around your argument. So, but later on in this clip, he's basically like, which I love, he's essentially saying it's just so, he's like, I'm shocked that the response that I'm getting from you is this continued evasion of the fact that you can't tell me where the money went. He's like, it's so tone deaf to the audience watching at home, which is also a great debate tactic. When you can call out your opponent on how like inappropriately they're conducting themselves and kind of hold them up to the standard that, hey, people are watching, man. What do you think they think? What about the children? Okay. Okay, guys. Let's now get into today's crypto market update. If you have chart requests, please drop them in the chat. We're going to get started, of course, with our big macro, see what we see coming in. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, where are we at in the cycle? Still right smack dab in the middle. This is our third down week. Still obviously a few days, anything could happen. We're sitting at about 96,022. This should really be the index, man. Why is this not the index? I apologize. There we go. 96,057 on the index. We are 305% away from the theoretical logarithmic high of this cycle. We are 6% below the mid-range of the logarithmic cycle. We are 45% above support. And note that that 45% above support is just where the beginning of the long-term accumulation is. I've often said before, the only indicator you really need to buy Bitcoin long-term is the 200 weekly simple moving average. Going back throughout Bitcoin's history, it has always been the place where you should buy or accumulate Bitcoin for the next cycle. It's not going to be any different next time. So if Bitcoin's price gets down to around $40,000, buy it. Buy it. I'm not saying it's the bottom. It could go as low as 20, could go as low as 30. We have seen a few patterns, obviously, where price does not go substantially lower than the previous market cycle high. So obviously in 2017, we topped around $19,000. And then, excuse me, let's go back here. So in 2013, the market cycle high was about 1252. And then obviously in the 2018-2019 bear market, we didn't go lower than 3,300. Obviously we had the COVID crash right here. And then in 2021, we reached a high of almost $70,000. And when we went into the bear market, we only went down to about 15,000, which was just mildly below the previous cycle high of 19,000. And so if we're looking at the previous market cycle high of about 70,000, that's honestly where all of our daily levels of support are coming in at. So honestly, there is a strong argument to be made that between $70,000 and $50,000 would be a fantastic place to accumulate. But remember, as BFlow sagely pointed out, there is really strong support at zero. Mostly we're talking about altcoins. Bitcoin is the future. Let's not kid ourselves, guys. I'm going to become doing this for the next 10, 15 years. And Bitcoin's, you know, whatever. It's going to be about four figures, I'll tell you that. Bitcoin dominance continues to slide down, having a bit of an inside bar doji candle today, coming off of a reversal candle. Note that we had a signal like this about 2 weeks ago on January 30th. We only had 1 day of follow through, and then we got absolutely slapped in the face on Bitcoin dominance. Was not the time to accumulate altcoins. This much different. We were much more extended above the 10 daily exponential moving average. We've slid back down quite a little bit. We are now deviated below the 10 daily exponential moving average. So overall, it has been a good kind of cycle into altcoins for the last few days. Obviously, we do want to be very tentative because the overall kind of slant is to the downside. USDT dominance has not given us a strong rejection yet. We did get a reversal signal here on the daily time frame. We are combating here with the 200 daily simple moving average, unable to get above that, but we did get the initial signal that I was kind of looking for here was this break above 6%. We got that break. We bumped and ran all the way to the 200 daily simple moving average. Looking at stablecoin dominance here on the weekly time frame, what we've kind of got is a double bottom, which we've kind of been talking about for a while. The weekly time frame is almost oversold. Usually we get a couple of weeks of downside unless we're kind of in this strong trend of higher lows and lower highs. Higher highs and higher lows, excuse me. So overall, stablecoin dominance has been in a downtrend since 2022. We bottomed here in 2024 in March. That was the beginning of the summer doldrums. Now we're looking at a potential winter doldrums scenario. All right. And as far as Bitcoin dominance goes on the weekly is almost about to turn over on time transformation. We are pretty overextended. Hopefully that is a good sign for altcoins. That is what everybody's talking about, and I don't want to disappoint them, but you know, whatever, we'll see it when it happens. Looking at altcoins price performance relative to Bitcoin, obviously we are in a long-term downtrend and have been for quite a while. We did get a strong reversal candle on the previous weekly close. Today has been so far an inside bar recovery. If we are going to see a mean reversion in altcoins, we could see altcoins relative to Bitcoin move up about 20%. Is right now, would I say right now is a good place to short altcoins? No, I would not. You definitely want to be shorting altcoins when this metric is a little bit higher, even though we are in a bearish trend. So let's go to the daily. As I said, we've had this nice little reversal over the last, basically week. And so it has been decent for altcoins. This metric is still heavily oversold. And on the daily time frame, we do need to make quite a bit of recovery or need quite a bit of consolidation for us to get another kind of strong trending signal to the upside, which again, when we get these strong, here was a good one right here, obviously, daily long signal, and we had almost 2 weeks of altcoin upside. That was, of course, following the election of Donald Trump. And obviously we've got nothing but short signals since January 10th, another continuation short signal altcoins on January 19th, and another continuation short signal on February 2nd. So I will let you guys know when this metric rolls around, but so far it has not. All right. Getting into Bitcoin, obviously we still have a bullish weekly trend. Key points here to note on the weekly time frame is that we are struggling to stay above the 10 weekly exponential moving average. I've pointed this out many times before. Closing below the 10 weekly exponential moving average is very bearish. We only do one of two things: continue lower or we move back up for a lower high. It's never been anything different unless we're kind of in the beginning of an uptrend. We're not really at the beginning of an uptrend. We seem to be towards the end or the consolidation point of an uptrend. So the market is looking very similar to how it looked in March, April of 2024 when we entered into the summer doldrums. And then it took a very strong catalyst and also descending to support to really get that kind of trigger to the upside. So the big thing I'm watching for here is I'm not concerned with the trade from here to here. I'm concerned with a strong breakout to the upside and seeing if Bitcoin can run to like 120, 150. I'm not really concerned about this $10,000 range. It's not the type of trading that I'm good at. It's the type of trading that messes most people up because it's hard to be good at it. All right. Volatility is also extremely low on the weekly time frame. And another pattern that I've pointed out is that Bitcoin will often peak on volatility on the weekly time frame around 80 to 85%, just like we did back here in March and April of 2024. And then we go in for a double top as volatility drops. Once we double top, volatility drops to a very low level, as we can see down here on this indicator. Then the market tends to make that breakout to the downside. And we're experiencing something very similar here, where the market peaked on high volatility around 85%. And then we went in for a double top on lower volatility. And now it's looking like the market wants to make that move to the downside. Did happen a lot faster over here. So we'll see. But again, key things that I'm watching for, obviously close below the 10 weekly exponential moving average, I think is going to be quite bearish on the weekly time frame. And so the main thing that I'm watching for is a breakout to the upside. That's really the only thing I'm interested in. On the daily time frame, Bitcoin is consolidating below our daily guppy levels of support, and we are dangerously close to the bottom trend line of around $90,000 to $92,000. Again, I'm not going to be mad at anybody looking for bids at this area, looking to take profit up here. It's a fine plan. It's a fine strategy. I wish you the absolute best. I would be very cautious about any daily close below 92,000, probably 93,000 at this point in time. Other than that, I don't really see any type of signals on the horizon. We're not really oversold. We're not really overbought. We're just kind of lazily listing to the right. Volatility has been absolutely atrocious right now. Daily volatility is about to drop. So we are gearing up for a relatively big move. So simply sitting on the sidelines and waiting for a breakout is probably going to be in most traders' best interest at this point in time. On the 4-hour time frame, as we've kind of talked about, we have been unable to get over our 4-hour level of resistance right here. That is the main thing that I am watching to see if we can get a nice, strong, sustained 4-hour close at this point in time above 97,431. So I definitely see what individual was talking about earlier, kind of looking for a pump. We do have some 4-hour consolidation right here, some wicks to the downside, and looking like a decent upside candle right here. Looks like we might actually get some price moving up. But again, I wouldn't get too excited unless we're above 97,450. Let's see if that can happen first. lower time frames are not looking actually that fantastic. Let's see here. Hourly, not much to talk about. 30-minute, not much to talk about. We did do some consolidation and accumulation in the value area low of the day. We do have resistance in the form of the 230-minute SMA here around 96,727. Let's see if we can get, looking at the 5-minute time frame, maybe we're moving into a bit of a bullish trend, but we also kind of look overextended, so I would probably fade BTC right now because the 4-hour is bearish. And that's basically it. Not in the like highest value area to short for the day, certainly. That would be up here around $97,000 to $98,000. But we'll see if we get another opportunity. Let's just watch. 5-minute volatility is getting maxed out. But the 30-minute has room to run if we do want to run to the upside here. So maybe a potential trade on the table from about 96,200, which is where we're basically at, up to 97,700, which is where we could go. My over leveraged longs love this price action. Good to see, man. Good to see. Chart request higher on base from Yester Crypto. Absolutely. Ernest of Gaios, grid bots love this range. Why don't more folks use grid bots to trade ranges? Because I think because most people are conditioned into like the fact that these things are just going to run really strong, and so they don't want to get locked into a grid. Plus, most people are just generally bad at using bots because nobody, again, I try to tell people this all the time, nobody like really wants to hear like, hey man, just lock in and you can like 2x every year. They're like, what do you mean, dude? I'm trying to turn this 10,000 into 10 million. What? And you know, it's very unrealistic. Rick G, I remember the blue screen days. Thank you so much for your continued patronage, my brother. Let it sneeze, let it sneeze, let it sneeze, let it sneeze. All right, hold on just a second. Okay. I just wanted to point out something on BTC here on the daily time frame, right? Where, you know, we could draw something of an ascending trend line like this, which would put support again right around 92,535. So I just want to point out that I don't see an issue, and it is probably a decent positive EV trade. What do we got? I'm already in. Yeah, I'm already in. It's all good. So I can absolutely see bidding, you know, 95 to 93. Hell, you know, like maybe even right now, and then looking for, you know, profit ranges between 100,000 and 104,000. I can absolutely see that, and then probably buying in pretty big on a breakout to the upside. Why don't more people just provide LP? If you think people are bad at using bots, people are even worse at providing LP. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, and you saw me struggle yesterday. Jesus Christ. It's not my fault. It wouldn't let me provide single side liquidity, which I have no idea like why it would not let me do that. Because I did it just fine the other day. All right, looking at Ethereum. Ethereum is giving us some suggestions that we might be ready for a bit of a reversal. All right, as I said, okay, I'm kind of picturing Ethereum independent. I'm looking at some of the bullish catalysts that have come in. For example, Yester Crypto with the $9.99 chart request up and to the right. Steep, please. Thank you so much, my brother. And thank you so much for the super chat and your continued patronage, my brother. Yes. And yeah, higher on base. I'm going to get to that Very, very, very quickly, sir. Thank you very much. You are the best. Guys, pardon me 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta do something. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Why did nobody tell me that my happy lights weren't on? I was definitely blowing my nose, dude. 100%. That was 1,000,000% what I was doing. There we go. Get my happy lights on. You cannot. Thanks for the super chat, man. I will be right back, dude. It's 100%. Okay. Let's talk about Ethereum. Why is oh, I didn't press play on the music. There we go. I just turned it on. I meant to turn it on before I left. I apologize. All right, let's talk about Ethereum. All right. So Ethereum is overall, okay? Ethereum is overall bearish, okay? It's only changed about 2% over the last week. But this is looking relatively bottomed to me, all right? We've got 21 shares, which is an ETF issuer. They have proposed putting staking into their ETF products, their Ethereum ETF products, to improve investors' returns. I think this is pretty big. This all correlates with the kind of crypto regulation that we've seen, the repealment of I think it's called SR22, allowing them to provide staking services. And we've seen a lot. Listen, I can't discount that. We've seen a lot of accumulation from very large wallets of Ethereum over the past week. All right. Over 500,000 Ethereum over the past week. And this isn't just World Liberty Finance. All right. This is whale wallets. All right. So there's been a lot of buying of Ethereum over the last week. We do have to keep in mind that the time horizon of these whales is often a lot longer and deeper than us as a retail trader's time horizon. So just because they're accumulating here doesn't mean that they won't then accumulate here, here, and here. All right, because they have the capital and the time to wait out a bearish trend. I will say though, that this is a pretty good setup at the 200 weekly simple moving average. All right, this is the level at which Ethereum is pumped since 2023. All right, so if we're gonna get a rally, now looks about decent. Okay, and even if I pull up something like the weekly reversal system, weekly reversal system's looking pretty good. We're oversold on the weekly time frame. We deviated briefly below the lower boundary of the Bollinger Band. Now, the Bollinger Band does stretch all the way down to about 2,143. So maybe accumulation here is not such a bad idea. With something like a 10% stop loss is probably not a bad idea on Ethereum, all right? Not financial advice. Do your own trading. Just pointing that out. Oh, interesting. All right. Ethereum on the daily. Okay. If you're looking for a stronger, or I would say concurrent, have I seen the RFK confirmation? Did he get confirmed? Should be on my Twitter. Let's look and see. RFK. Yeah, RFK Jr. confirmed as trending. I knew he was going to. All right. I've been talking about this for the last couple of days. Right. I never really had any doubt that he wasn't going to get confirmed. I was unsure about Tulsi. I am overjoyed, as I talked about yesterday, that Tulsi Gabbard got confirmed. I think that's a huge win for privacy. I think that's a huge win for the American people. But that one was a little speculative. We weren't sure, but super glad. Super glad also that Trump's talking about a full pardon for Edward Snowden. So yeah, huge win. Congratulations, America. All right, Ethereum on the daily. Let's see here. I want to get my actual weekly system pulled up here. Now, Ethereum on the weekly, we did get a reversal system here from time transformation on February 10th at a price of about 26.47. Price did go up about 5% from there, so good signal. And price is basically right at where we were when that signal was generated. Now, we have seen a failed attempt to break out above the daily 10 exponential moving average. So if you're looking for a confirmation signal, waiting for that close might not be such a bad idea. All right. We do have a daily resistance in the form of our 200 daily simple moving average, and of course our descending EMA bands, which very similar to Bitcoin and very similar to everything on the 4-hour, we've been unable to get over. So I don't know if I would necessarily recommend the signal again, since we've already gone up about 5 to 6%, and now we are pulling back. I would now at this point in time want to see price trading above the daily 10 EMA. And again, we need to look really no further than the 4-hour time frame here. Again, we've been unable to descend above this EMA band. Now, it does seem on the daily like we might be bottoming out. Okay. All right. Daily volatility actually looks maxed out, which is kind of prime for a reversal. Daily volatility, Ethereum really hasn't gone anywhere. All right. Since February 3rd. So basically this month, Ethereum's pretty much done nothing. It has listed lazily and made lower highs, but we got a kind of warning signal here. Either this is a signal that we're going to pump, or it was just the kind of last failed breakout. So again, watching for that 4-hour close above 2,700 is pretty important at this point in time if you're watching Ethereum for a breakout. So I'm just going to be a little contrarian here when it comes to Ethereum. I don't know, man. I'm well aware of what I'm good at. I'm pretty good at like looking at BS and calling things out. I don't necessarily know if I want that position of power and privilege. All right. Now, Solana is not looking so hot. All right. There has been a significant decline in on-chain activity in Solana. Transaction volumes are down a lot just this week. And that is contributing to price declining. All right. The sentiment around Solana is pretty bad. Okay. The sentiment right now in the Solana community is pretty bad. The funding rates are negative on PERT futures. And we've got a big unlock happening on March 1st. All right. 11 million Solana tokens. That's about $2.2 billion. The FTX exchange were the previous owners of those tokens. All right. So Solana, from a fundamental perspective, I'm a little bearish on Solana moving forward. On the weekly time frame, we are at weekly support. Okay, I will just point that out. Volatility on the weekly time frame is not bottomed out. Neither is our momentum oscillator significantly oversold or even really in kind of a reversal position. We're just kind of mid-range. So I think Solana could actually dip down to like $93. On the daily time frame, we do have an opportunity for a bit of a reversal here. We are basically at this same level of support around $180, around, you know, $180 to $200 where we've seen price reverse previously. We are in that zone again. We are also doing kind of the same pattern that we've seen time and time again. So where we kind of bottom, we move up and reject from that 10 daily exponential moving average, drift for a little bit, and then pop. So here we see it again. We've kind of dropped. We rejected from that 10 daily exponential moving average. What we'd want to see here now for us to pop is a little bit more meandering, perhaps for a few days, and then looking for that close again above that 10 daily exponential moving average, which right now is sitting at about $200. So that could be a good confirmation trigger for taking a Solana reversal trade to the upside. And again, you can get real good confirmation by simply looking at the 4-hour time frame and the 4-hour guppies, guys. This has been the level to pop to break over. We've been unable to do it. That level again also sitting at $200. So Solana looking a little bottomed out here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay. But if you want some good confirmation, you either got to buy the lows, all right, or you've got to buy the breakout of 200. All right. One of those trades is safer than the other. Okay, let's see here. Now, XRP. Let's talk about this, guys. Today, the SEC is holding a closed meeting on XRP. Okay? Well, that's the speculation. The speculation is that the SEC is holding a meeting today with potential decisions that are going to impact Ripple and XRP. All right. The SEC might withdraw its appeal in the Ripple case, or they might approve XRP spot ETFs. Okay. We've had a nice little bit of a price pop here from XRP, and it's holding on pretty decently. Might be geared up to pump if we get some kind of positive signal. And looking at that 4-hour time frame, I mean, it's looking pretty geared for a pop. Let's talk about the weekly. Prices come down to the 10 weekly exponential moving average. Okay, hasn't closed below it. Relatively bullish. All right. Let's talk about the daily. Price is consolidating below guppy support. Okay, that's a little bearish. Again, we need to get above that 10 daily exponential moving average. That's sitting directly above price at $2.50. All right. If we get a nice pop here on the daily, we can see the RSI is getting ready to turn over. Let's go and look at our time transformation. We already got that reversal signal on the daily time frame on February 8th. Okay. And if we go and look at our 4-hour time frame, guys, this is not looking bad. All right. This is not looking bad. We've got higher lows. We've got resistance at $2.50, and we've got a nice basically ascending triangle formation going on. I favor a breakout on XRP above $2.50. I think it's a good trade setup. Okay, we also have some good invalidation. I would price at a stop around $2.20. Okay, CZ scraping the bottom of the barrel of the last bits of retail liquidity. I will say, listen, guys, if we're going to have a reversal, I mean, now's not a bad time. I mean, sentiment is toast. Okay. Sentiment is absolutely destroyed. Is there any way I can, oh, you know what? I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to try something real quick. Give me a second. Here it is. I'm going to go back and listen to my audio later, but is this good? Is this better for my voice? I just turned the volume up about by 6 decibels. And I know that my audio needs to be should be a lot louder, but I basically have my volume maxed out on both my Go XLR. There's no volume on my microphone. So the only thing I can do, I know that my volume should be up, but my gain should be down. So the only thing is I could just add synthetic gain here on the OBS. So if my voice sounds worse, let me know, and I'm going to turn that gain back down and just have to deal with it. You can just turn your volume switch up. Very crisp now. I'm going to take that as a good thing. I'm gonna assume that's a good thing. Good stuff. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it. All right, so I do favor XRP here. Sounds like a drummer voice on your roof. Why am I popping popcorn now? So are you guys hearing some like background audio? Because my house is quiet as a mouse. I mean, obviously my goldfish tank, you know, like, because I can turn my noise gate back up. All right, everybody thinks it sounds great. All right, you guys talking about popping popcorn, you guys can go pop yourselves right off the pop. I'll tell you what, all this fizzle bit. All right. Let's talk about Dogecoin. All right. Now, Dogecoin is also looking pretty same as yesterday. Oh, you guys must be hearing my fish tank. Sounds like raindrops. Yeah, that's literally what's going on. So I am gonna have to yeah, it just depends on the people with headphones will hear it. I'm going to have to turn my noise gate back up because I have my noise gate kind of down, almost not turned off, but very, very down. Because I don't like the clicking in and out, but I'll just have to ramp it up just a little bit. All right, so let's talk about Doge. All right. Now, despite Doge having quite a bit of price decline here, there has been a lot of activity around a Doge ETF. Okay. There's been filings and there's been interest from Bitwise, and I think that's a long-term bullish bet on Doge. All right. Now, transactions on Doge have also increased from whale wallets about 70%. All right. So we had Grayscale Investments introduce the Grayscale Dogecoin Trust on January 31st. So accredited investors now have exposure to Doge. Maybe it's a sell the news event. Either way, from a technical perspective, we are looking like we might get a break to the upside. Okay. On the weekly time frame, we've descended all the way down to our weekly guppy bands of support, right? Our 30, our 40, our 50, our 60. We're trading below our 10 weekly. That's not good. That's not fantastic. But this is essentially a make it or break it point for Dogecoin. All right. I do believe it does, sir. On the daily time frame, we're at the daily 200 SMA level of support. Again, similar pattern here where we seem to have bottomed. We come up for an initial rejection from the 10 EMA. If Doge can hold in this range at or above the 200 daily simple moving average, then I would be interested in basically trying to buy the lows and looking for potential breakout. Two strategies. You can either attempt to buy the lows or you can buy the breakout of the daily 10 exponential moving average. On the 4-hour time frame, similar thing to what we saw with XRP. We've got higher lows. We've got higher highs. We've got resistance here at about 25, 26 cents. We see the guppy kind of rolling over and going flat. Doesn't mean we're going to have an immediate breakout, but I definitely see a trade from this range up about 30% to our 4-hour 200 SMA around 30, 32 cents. So that's the trade. I'm not talking about, hey, we're bottomed out. We might just get a pop. All right. But it looks like things might be gearing up for a Dogecoin pop as well. So overall, a lot of these assets look pretty good. If we want to talk about BNB. Okay. BNB just had a nice move off the bottom. Okay. Came up. Currently rejecting from my daily baseline. All right, as I would expect, this is a reversal baseline bounce setup every time. If price comes at the baseline violently, you fade it. Okay. So price now at this time, if we can get above $709, might be looking for a more sustained breakout. We've got our momentum oscillator moving slowly up towards the breakout point. We're already getting some bullish signals from my confirmation indicator, Watt-Hour explosion. Things are looking relatively decent. Now, I will say this about BNB, okay, and this might be bearish. Now, Binance, like, even though Binance is saying like it's just shifting in accounting, there's no, like, listen, they sold $5 billion, all right, of various cryptos, all right. They did retain, however, almost all of their BNB. I don't think they sold any of their BNB. Now, the exchange has come out and said that these actions were part of their internal accounting adjustments with their treasury, not directly selling assets, but I think that's BS. I think they're making adjustments because they know that they're going to get audited, or they want to become more official, or whatever, or maybe they're looking to sell or get bought. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They definitely sold BTC. They definitely sold cryptos, but they didn't sell a lot of BNB. All right. We've got a potential BNB chain upgrade coming up, so there's some excitement and speculation around that. And, you know, BNB is up 24% this week and up 2.4% in the last month. So it's one of the few things, it's one of the few things that, as far as large caps go, is not down, melting off of its face. We've had a nice BNB pop. And I think that the reason it's popped is because investors have a little bit of confidence because Binance sold cryptos, but they didn't sell BNB. According to their internal releases. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Yes, BNB is inflationary, but they do BNB burns. From the weekly perspective, price came down, bounced off of our weekly baseline. Minx is not adequately suited for this. We really want, I think, time transformation. Peckham says, I've been tweeting about this for months. Binance would use a crash in altcoins to pay the $5 billion fine. Today I was proven right. Good for you, man. Do they make most of their value from trading fees? Never use BNB because of my location. I don't really know the answer to that question. Psycho Crypto, good to see you, my friend. Good morning. Am I sure that BNB is inflationary? No, I'm not 100%. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know like they were doing their burns, and when something burns, that means they're printing tokens, right? So no. All right, let's see here. Initial supply was 200 million BNB. Its current supply is decreasing over time due to Binance's burning mechanism. Binance burns BNB every quarter to reduce supply, making the token more scarce, so it's not inflationary. The number of tokens burned is based on BNB price and total blocks generated on the BSC. The goal is to burn 50% of the total supply, reducing it from 200 million to 100 million BNB. And then it also has real-time gas fee burning, so BNB burns a portion of gas fees from transactions, reducing supply dynamically. Let's see here. Binance users get up to a 25% discount on their trading fees if paid with BNB. BNB is used as gas. Blah 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 blah. You can also vote. Yeah, you have governance and staking. All right, no new BNB is mined, and regular burns occur. All right, so you're absolutely right. Thank you for checking me on that, man. So on the weekly time frame, we do have a bounce scenario coming up. We've got our weekly momentum oscillator rolling over. with price at weekly support. All right. A weekly close at this point in time below 575 is looking pretty ugly because basically the next level of support is around 484. So that's another 100% decline. But once things get below weekly baselines, I'm not big into it. And you can just see like the weekly time frame is one of your best friends in crypto in spotting big moves. Okay. Breakouts, breakdowns, and bounces from support. We'll roll today with Minx. That's where we're at. A few more things here. Sorry. Jeez. We got to look at, we're getting late in the show. We need to look at Yes to Crypto's chart request that you super chatted a long time ago for. Higher. And then the last, I think the last big chart I'm going to do here is Cardano. Okay. All right, so some catalysts on Cardano. On February 10th, Grayscale filed for a Cardano ETF. All right. We've seen about 2.35% of the total supply accumulated by whales since November 2023. So this accumulation has been going on for a while. And again, we typically view these as like sell the news events. All right. On the weekly time frame, though, we see that Cardano has been relatively bullish since September, November of 2023, when whales began accumulating. We had a nice initial pop of about 200%, and then a drop of about 60% to our support around 31 cents. And then obviously following the election of Donald Trump, we had a nice, about 300% pop, and prices down from the highs about 40%. We did dip all the way down as low as 60%. So price has basically doubled since its test of the weekly baseline. Price below 48 cents is looking obviously pretty hairy. That's a level that we have successfully not closed below since we broke above the weekly baseline on September 2023. Our weekly momentum oscillator has not rolled over yet. We are in kind of reversal territory, not deeply oversold, but again, kind of this is the same level on the momentum oscillator where price turned around right here. Although we did get deeply oversold prior to that and had to have a little bit of regular bullish divergence prior to the big breakout. On the daily time frame, we are below the daily baseline, sitting at about $1.12. That is about 37% above us, so that is quite a bit of ways. We did get a reversal signal on February 10th. Which has had some okay follow through. The one prior to that on January 29th would have been a relatively bad trade. The way I would have traded is we would have got a short signal on January 21st, taking profits, and then we would have re-entered on February 2nd and then taken profits right here, because I trade with the trend. So when time transformation or Minx goes below the zero line, I go short, I take profits on oversold situations, and then when we cross back over, I short again and take profits. So I'm not really in an interest to really do anything here with Cardano. I will just kind of point out that likely between 67 cents and 50 cents or 48 cents is kind of the accumulation area for Cardano. Don't know if we get another attempt at that. It's quite possible. We'll see what the market does. But that's overall my take on Cardano. Not as bullish compared to the rest of it. And we could go on and on and on, but overall. Okay. We are seeing market rejection here, even though the SPY futures are pumping, which is interesting. So we'll see if Bitcoin turns around here shortly. All right, so now higher on base. Sorry about that, man. Rumble is ripping. Yeah, Rumble has been on a nice tear for the last like year, honestly. All right, higher on base, and then we'll do the marble run, and then I think that's going to conclude today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to take us a minute to get the marble run loaded up, but let's do higher on base for our good friend and his lovely super chat. Let's see here. Speaking of base, let's see. B3 had a nice pop. Looks like it's downtrending. Support at 1.1 billion. Oh, yeah, I don't really want to connect. So higher. This one, contract ending in FFE. This is the one you want, brother? It's got market cap of about $7.4 million, almost $400,000 worth of liquidity. Conlon 01, thoughts on Jasmy? Let me see here. While I'm waiting for Yester Crypto to respond, positive or negative. Don't kill yourself, man, if you're driving. It's not good to text and drive. Use voice to text. I'm just looking to see if I have any notes on Jasmine. I don't have any notes on Jasmine. I'll take a look here in just a second, brother. Contract ends in FFE. Yep, this is the one I'm looking at. All right, well, let's look at the 4 hour. Well, this thing's been around for a while. Oh. Look, man, I just kind of have the same opinion, like, you know, I have the same opinion on this as, you know, I'm not super plugged into the on-chain alpha trades. So you might know something that I don't. I certainly don't pretend to have any like secret wisdom or alpha here. Looking at this chart, I mean, it looks pretty ugly to me. All right. And I'll tell you why. It's because the pattern that I've noticed with most of these coins is like either, you know, a big initial pump, right? Which is like the opportunity to make money, and then it just sells off forever. And then there's like zombie pumps, and those zombie pumps are just so intermittent and high risk that I don't know. So I see this chart, I see something that like ran up to 70 million in November, December, right? When, you know, on-chain stuff was really popular, and it's just basically sold off since then. Now it's down at 7.34 million. Sure, it's coming up on support, but I don't know. 14% of the people who hold this are holding blue chips. Okay. The top 10 own 23% of the total supply, but some of those are obviously probably going to be wallets. Looks like the developer has removed quite a bit of liquidity, but that's okay. The developer seems to have bought at this area here, but that doesn't mean he didn't sell with other wallets. I mean, yeah, price is pretty low, man, but just the way that I like to trade is looking for kind of breakout catalysts, right? So I'm not a big fan. I know this is like contrary to what most people believe, but when it comes to like reversals, I prefer the bigger brand names. I prefer the Bitcoins. I prefer the Ethereums. I prefer the XRPs, all that kind of stuff, looking for these kind of bigger picture fundamental signals. When I'm looking at something like higher, I mean, I don't know anything about this coin. I don't know any potential catalysts coming up, and I don't like the opportunity cost and the drawdown of holding something. The way I play these is if I like a project, right? I take profits and I put it into basically my gambling bag, and I'll like put, you know, $500 or $1,000 in no token, and I'm just gonna consider that completely gone, because here's the thing. you know, finding the catalysts or trading, you know, with a technical strategy on a lot of these tokens is very, very tricky. And often it's just a matter of like kind of waiting for your coin to pump, you know, and like setting those alerts and being cautious. So, I mean, I'm seeing, you know, some zombie pumps coming in here from like 70, you know, from like, you know, like look like we pumped from like 10 to 20 million, which is good. That's a nice 2x, right? There's opportunities here. But what I would want to see, and this is probably like the most important thing, I want you to look very, very carefully. Like, look at this area of the market right here, where the trend is to the downside. We're making lower lows. And then there's a significant shift that happens here. Okay, and it's the fact that we start making higher lows and higher highs. And what follows after that is a big pump. So as long as I see this making lower lows and lower highs, I'm not interested in buying. The second, or I would say not the second, but like the week that I notice this thing start to shift and make higher lows and lower highs, then you start to feel a whole lot better about, hey, okay, maybe this thing is gearing up for a big move. Because it's very rare that these things like these things are going to just mega pump off the bottom, because it's not as if this is like some super massive gem that everybody's just going to suddenly discover one day. You know, it's going to take time, and that accumulation and that buying pattern is impossible to disguise, because that accumulation pattern is the higher highs and higher lows as buying interest starts to move into this token. And then, you know, again, whether that's like smart money, and then they use like, you know, their Telegram channels or whatever to distribute like, hey, we should buy this token, whatever. Like, but I wish you the absolute best, my friend. And then I will briefly look at Jasmine, and then we got to get the marble run up and running, because I'm already going to be late, I think, to our mentoring session. If you guys are in the Crypto Trading Academy, bear with me. I apologize if I'm going to be a little bit late. I just want to get this all figured up. Jasmine is in a bearish weekly trend. Daily trend. Let's look at the weekly indicators here real quick. Jasmine is oversold on the weekly time frame. We are deviating below our 50 exponential moving average level of support. I would want to see kind of the momentum oscillator cross over first. We do have some pretty strong support at about 1.6 cents, which is about 25% below price. So I could absolutely see like trying to accumulate for a swing trade between here and support, and just reduce your position size to account for the volatility. As far as the daily time frame goes, you know, we are trading below the 200 daily simple moving average, and usually when that happens, there's a more pronounced period of consolidation. And again, same thing here. Notice how we're making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and then all of a sudden we start making higher lows and higher lows. And so, you know, a kind of getting in here, I think, is better than, you know, the drawdown at these other places. And this is basically my philosophy of trading. I want to buy something as it's going up, not as it's going down. I know that's contrary to most, you know, investment wisdom, but it's different. Obviously, if we're in a bullish trend, then I want to buy dips. But if we're not in a bullish trend, then I'm pretty speculative. As far as a daily breakout, price has got it's got to do a lot, man. It's got to do a lot. We do got some regular bullish divergence going on, but in the short term, we've got resistance at about 2.52 cents. Maybe if we can get above that, we can get a bump and run, maybe a 30% pop. I don't know. Overall, I'm not too hot on Jasmine right now. One to watch though. I mean, I know it's kind of popular with a lot of people, but yeah, basically like didn't really do anything here for a long time, like a long period of consolidation. So we'll see. You can see, I mean, we also have like pretty clear as day on the daily time frame. We've got like this descending trend line, right? So yeah, there's like some random pumps back up to it, and then the strategy has just been basically to fade that. So maybe we're gearing up for another pop to like maybe 26 cents. But overall, it's, I don't know. There's better opportunities out there, man. All right. Oh, come on, man. Litecoin. I said this is the last one. All right, super last one. I have some notes on Litecoin somewhere. Thought I did. Maybe not. Huh. Guess I don't. Anyways. Litecoin on the weekly is pretty decent. We're in a weekly bullish trend. We do have some pretty strong resistance around 136. So I'd be a little scared of this area right here. But we had a nice kind of drop basically down to our support level. If we can actually like close a nice, like if we close this weekly pretty good, and then I would potentially like long the breakout on the next weekly candle. It doesn't look too bad. I just, you know, you want to be aware of this like danger zone. This is where we've seen a lot of distribution lately. So just be careful. Tight stops and whatnot. On the daily time frame, we are about to potentially get a trending signal. Close above 120. Basically, like a close like today or the next couple days would be pretty good. Momentum oscillators above 0. We're getting some bullish signs from Watt-Hour explosion. Obviously, like we've been ranging, and we are experiencing like lower highs over the last 3 pivots. So be cautious of a rejection. This is not one, if you enter into a breakout trade on here, you just want to see price continue to go. Like you don't want to see any pullbacks, because the pullback is a fade, and every time like this level's been faded, it's gone down quite a bit. So just be careful, man. It doesn't look too bad. Litecoin looks pretty decent actually compared to most things. It's relatively strong. Just passed a Cybertruck with a license plate of 2 BTC. Hell yeah, dude. All right, let's get the marble race going. It's going to take us a second because we got to add a lot of names. Because every time I reset, it like doesn't save, which is like so frustrating. Oh wait, you can open. So there's a way. Select a CSV file with a list of player names. Well, I wish I would have known that. It doesn't really matter because today is going to be the last day of the Jesus giveaway. I want to thank everybody for participating. I've got some new people we got to add in here. Oh, we got to add like 50 names, and it's just going to take me a few seconds. So bear with me, guys. Thank you for your patience, and get them marbles greased up and ready to go. All right, we've got Electric Oxen. Oh. Crypto Kid. Moskov 476. Ibu Lehenda. James A. Fid T. John Bang O. Not Risky. Kex U. Mikhail W. John Bang B. Crush N. Dlee S. Whoops. Miriam C. Eleanor W. Noah W. Schwank. Satoshi Nakamoto. Walter H. Max H. Tanner E. Ethan M. Deets Nuts. Amalia. Barry B. Dan N. Jonathan B. Jacob. Telgi. Ruade. Kabir. Kenny O. Kramer. Lionheart. Sky. Cootie Forever. Cardano Boy. Fundeus. Link Marine. Book of Crypto. And then our brand new entries today, which there are quite a few. Adam B. Elite Crypto. Dogecoin Hodler. Shib Army. Felix, Kelly, Hangman. I feel like you guys are just making them up now at this point in time. Resident Crypto, Daria, Freddie. Okay. That's a lot. 57 racers. So today we Pontius Pilate. Oh, did I forget Peckham? My bad, dude. I did forget you. Peckham. Anybody else? 58. Did I forget anybody else? Let's pick an epic one. I forgot Don. I did forget Don. Anybody else? Okay. I apologize. I can't take any new entries. I'm already late for today's thing. But don't worry. We are going to continue the spirit of gifting every single week. We're going to be giving away crypto, or we're going to be giving away not free things, but paid things behind our subscription wall, whether they're indicators, automated strategies, coursework, all of the kind of stuff. Final boarding call, everybody on. Let's do this one. Voz Lab looks pretty fun. How many racers do we have? Just double checking. 59 racers. Listen, guys, I apologize. I'm not perfect. If I forgot you, if I missed your name, there will be other opportunities. 59 bots in ladies and gentlemen, you've never seen anything like it. It's going down. The most epic marble race known to man. Ooh, this is an exciting one. What's going on? This is interesting. What do we got going on here? Wow, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. Okay, let's get this party started with the Bunsen burner, ladies and gentlemen. 6 rounds, one round, 59 racers. Only one can be the winner. Let's go. Oh, looks like they got to get hot. The marbles got to get hot. Oh, no, the marbles don't need to get hot. They just have to be plucked. And the beaker is moving. Where are we going? Oh, here we go. Let's go. All right, who do we have? Anybody taking a lead? We have CM Punk. Wait, followed by Kabir. Wait, looks like Felix is in the lead. Tanner E. I'm going to say Felix is in the lead. This is correct. I don't even know. Let's just jump cut to the number one. You are not the number one. We've got Felix in the lead. Yeah, it just took a while. Yeah, Felix in a strong lead. Up and over. This track is absolutely insane. Where did I get my driving skills? All right. Oh, Jacob looks like he's plummeting to his death. Where's Felix? Oh, there we go. Felix in the lead. We had some plummets. We had some death plummets there. Felix in a strong lead. Can he make it? Oh, that bounce against the wall is going to hold you back a little bit, but not apparently too long. Come on. Let me up. Surprised I don't have like God mode. I can't go through walls. I'm like still limited by physics and whatnot. Like, come on, let's get Felix, absolute domination, followed closely by Hangman, followed closely by Freddy. Looks like we've got some taking an alternative route, and it looks like Telgi might be, nope, Felix is in the lead. Felix in a strong lead, followed by Hangman. Down into, oh, Felix made it through. Felix made it through, not getting held up whatsoever by any of this nonsense. Felix in a strong lead, up and through. Is he going to make it past the Bunsen burner? He is not going to make it past the Bunsen burner, ladies and gentlemen. Felix after a dominant lead. Now, Deets Nuts. Deets Nuts has not been a primary contender, but here he comes. Oh no, getting absolutely decimated. Hangman, who's going to make it? Freddy's going to make it. Freddy makes it to the finish. Congratulations, Freddy. Kind of a last minute entry, but you made it. Not many were even able to finish the course. Jacob got liquidated. Congratulations, everybody, for participating in this most epic Jesus giveaway. God bless everybody for their entries. I hope you all are fantastic, and I hope you guys all hodl. We seem to be at the bottom of the market. I hope Jesus does very, very well. All right. It's been fantastic. The community's been awesome. Profit Bear, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to give away, I can't even remember, billions. But we've given away billions of tokens. And Freddie is the winner at 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Congratulations, my good sir. You are the absolute winner. Let me pull up. You just entered this morning. I've got your Ethereum address right here. I'm going to be sending your tokens right now. Sending. All right, let me just confirm. X533. F1 for F1. Yep, that's your address that you sent me anyways. We're gonna be sending 1 billion Jesus coins. Unlocking my wallet. Clicking the send button. Ignoring the alert because I have not transacted with this wallet. Wow, gas on Ethereum is like 24 cents. Ridiculous. Thank you. Ignore, sign, send. Done. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Highly appreciate it. This has been super fun. Don't stop coming because we will have plenty more to give away over the next few weeks. With that, ladies and gentlemen, however, we are coming to an end of today's live stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. 10 billion. Thank you so much for joining me today. We've laughed, we've cried, we've learned a lot. As always, guys, I'm here to educate, inform, entertain. I make my own trades. I try to give my best advice, but at the end of the day, you are ultimately responsible for what is in your account. I cannot trade your account for you. I do not know what you have personally going on. I also don't know your psychology, your risk, how much your wife is going to yell at you. I don't know any of these things. All right. You are responsible for all of these things for yourself. So please trade your own account, trade responsibly, manage your risk appropriately, and don't come crying to me if Dogecoin absolutely collapses. Anyways, we will be back tomorrow. As I said, tomorrow is going to be a little hit and miss. I will definitely be here, but just be patient with me. Bear with me. Give me a lot of love because I got a lot going on tomorrow. But we will definitely do a live stream. We will definitely do our thing. We were not going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow, but we are going to start our weekly giveaways on Monday. So make sure if you're not to subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you get notified. Who won't get the notification when we go live? It's just how it is. You can follow us on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Please join our free Discord. It is a great place, especially if you're trying to sharpen your saw as a trader, trying to learn more alpha. It is a great hub. A lot of good people in there. Highly recommend it. It's completely for free. Discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, or you can follow the link in today's description. Liking the video is free, and it helps out more than you could possibly imagine. I will be back tomorrow, same crypto time, same crypto network. For the members of the Crypto Trading Academy, I am coming for today's mentoring session. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right there. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today live. Trade safely, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.